People basically want to know, they want to do DIY as they usually do. Yesterday we were talking about how demand for DIY is actually going up, but we do know there's a cost of living crisis. People are cutting back on spending that's not essential. Can you create a lovely outdoor space and renovate your spaces on a budget?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, we've got to get to the core of DIY is the idea you do it yourself. It's like hands-on, it's getting involved, it's kind of understanding that kind of anything that we do to our spaces has an impact on our mental well-being. And it was actually an interiors brand, Heels, that did some research that said that 80% of us know that getting outdoors is actually good for our mental health. And to me, that's like a real game changer. We're talking about mental health, but we're also appreciating that actually everything we need is right at our fingertips. And I think that's really exciting.
No, look, absolutely. And to be honest with you, it's easy for me to come across a bit of a cynic when it comes to DIY. The reality is, the reason why I don't like it is because I'm rubbish at it, OK? So it's from a point of personal weakness that I am now angry about DIY. But, I mean, is there a sense of satisfaction to it? I don't understand why it's not the point of buying something. You've paid somebody else to make it.
But don't you think there's something about, like, if you walk through your door and you see a wall that you've painted, even if, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you've seen it, you've done that, you've kind of, made your imprint on the space that surrounds you. I think that's extraordinary. It's a bit like the same attitude, I think, when we put up our kids' drawings. It doesn't matter if they're all a bit wonky and the glitter's falling off and they're odd colours. We love them because our kids did them. And I think it's exactly the same thing. And it's also about understanding that what surrounds you really does impact you. But then what we've learned from, say, the whole kind of trauma of the pandemic is that actually what's outside really matters too. And we need to connect to it. We need to kind of get our hands dirty. And we need to kind of have that kind of, the dialogue, I suppose, with nature. And that's really fundamental.